All right, welcome back. Just a quick note, using Flask-Commands inside a new project. When you start up your project with the way you're going to start it up, I use that run.sh. You'll end up with several tabs. Either way you do this, you're going to kind of end up with several tabs that you're working with. And the way that I have shown you to run Flask-Commands is basically having it global on your machine in some fashion, right? You're either using a global environment or you used pipx, but you should at this point be able to type in Flask-Commands --version and see a version number. We do this globally so that you have access to Flask new, and that way you can create a new project anywhere on your machine. Well, there's several different commands. There's Flask make view, Flask make controller, Flask make model, and then there's Flask new currently, but there's going to be even more. I mean, I have plans for lots more commands. So when you're in your project, you're going to want to write Flask and then have a command like Flask make view. And if I can spell right. Okay. And then more stuff. In order for you to do that, right now we can do that. Then you're like, Drew, what's the problem? But a lot of times when you're working in your project, you're going to see your virtual environment activated. And so if you have your virtual environment activated, notice what happens. If I type in Flask commands --version, it's going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about. And it's because it's pulling context from this virtual environment, and we have not installed Flask-Commands in that virtual environment. So you basically have two options. You can open up a new tab and CD into your project and not activate your virtual environment. Let me say that very clear. Do not activate your virtual environment in the tab that you're going to run your Flask commands from. So like Flask make view will not have the virtual environment activated. Or if you prefer having your virtual environment activated, then you would just need to do a pip install Flask-Commands. I do not recommend doing this because then you're going to have a version of Flask-Commands in every single project that you have, which means you're going to need to keep that updated. And it's just so much easier to keep one version on your machine and keep that updated. So that's what this area here goes over, and it just says that the recommended way is to put it in globally, open up a new tab, do not activate your virtual environment, and use it that way. All right. So that's the recommended path. You don't want to have to do this per a project. All right. I'll see you in the next video.